Hey Aries, and welcome to your February 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And I'm actually smiling as I look at your energy because even though I know that you guys are coming into February feeling a little bit energetically scattered, unsure, insecure, not quite stable, it's all coming together right in February and we're all there, and I'm, despite seeing some of these heavier archetypes, really feeling that you guys are coming into the right thing to catalyze the right type of experience. So, January, I think for a lot of Aries was very unexpected. A lot of you are coming into February realizing, I have to make a change. Where I'm at right now isn't working. And then there's a slight few of you who have finally found it. I'll kind of speak to both Aries throughout the reading. February, to me, for all Aries, feels like a month of resolution and a month of extreme empowerment. It feels like things get evened out here. Justice is your central theme, upright. I believe that Libra had this as well. So the Libra-Aries axis is highlighted with the energy of justice. So karmic delivery, integration, proper judgments, the right decisions coming in. I feel like for any of you Aries who are gamblers or risking, like, you're doing really amazingly, because Aries seems to be making the right decisions right now, and you might be kind of overwhelmed because perhaps all of the decisions coming in feel like life or death scenarios, but it really feels like your gut instinct is on point. It feels like your gut instinct is spot on and your intuition is really developing here. And you're going to be coming into March, once we get back into your time of the year, during equinox, during Aries time. It feels like you're going to be coming into that with a huge psychic expansion, as well as a much more finely tuned intuition as well. So congratulations for that. It's getting formed here and now, so that can be kind of hard to experience in the moment. But basically what you get here and now, and the traits that you develop here and now in February Aries, are something that become invaluable to yourself, to your career, to your family, and everyone who really surrounds you and orbits around you. It feels like new things are being learned. I feel like maybe some of you are learning how to do things better, taking on new skills that are really profitable and employable for the future. It does feel like a long-term type of month. So I feel like a difficult thing about February is you might not get a lot of instant gratification, which can be hard for Aries. Again, you're the first sign of the zodiac, your cardinal fire energy, so instant gratification is really important to you. But through realizing the long-term benevolence and the long-term incredible things that come through, having a more balanced, easy, not so exciting February perhaps for some of you really gives you everything in the future. Although you do have some other really exciting energies like the Fool, King of Wands, Page of Wands, the Magician. But 3 of those are reversed, so I am sensing that the sort of sudden spark of energy that comes with them might feel a little bit dampered for some reason. I think that a lot of Aries might be just indecisive in general, but ultimately the indecisiveness that is present fuels the decisive nature that you come into in March. It's going to be an incredible month to build something and to be working with your hands, to be exercising. Definitely keep your blood pumping as Aries. All the fire signs right now I think are feeling really damp and dense as we've come through Capricorn, Aquarius, and we'll soon be moving into Pisces time. So it's kind of that earth, air, water energy coming in, and with all the outer planets, other than obviously Uranus being in your sign, it's gone direct and it's about to go into Taurus soon, not soon, but soonish. And you're feeling like the more dense earthy energy come in. So just really keep your body moving and keep your fluidity of the fire nature running. And it's a great time to take on new health regimens, or to also be planning that out for March. Once we get back into your solar return, that will be the best time for new starts, new endeavors, new changes to be taking on. But you can plan that out here and really get a lot from that, and also kind of ease your way into it. While it is important to be active and to take on strenuous things, it's also important to do it in a more slight way. So make sure that you are allowing yourself time to recover, and that you are allowing yourself time to regenerate and transform. Rest is going to be important too, and that's hard for Aries. You guys are kind of workaholics and you love to be busy with something. Sometimes Aries can be scared to take their time off or to allow yourself time for meditation, but that is important in February. You have the moon in your reading, so sort of background regeneration is going to be coming in. I feel like your moon energy is more healthy than a lot of people's. So Of course, with the moon and the magician together in the same reading, I always have to mention the possibility of secrets and lies coming together, especially when the magician is reversed. So it is important to find honesty within yourself, first and foremost, within other people, people around you. It's important to make sure that things are streamlined and evened out, because one way or another that's going to happen. So there are a few different people that I can speak to about that. It's like for the Aries who have been honest, just pay attention to your loved ones, the people that you're in a relationship. Of course, as I always say, don't, because Sky said on YouTube that you're being cheated on or being lied to, automatically think it. But if you're being confronted with those types of scenarios, I'll give you some good pointers once we get to that point of the spread on how to energetically cope with that. But for the Aries who are not the most honest of people in general, it is a month where you can't really get away with dishonesty, like blackmail, subterfuge, lying or cheating. It's whenever the magician is reversed, like people have seen through it. People can see past the magic act. Like the magician is no longer pulling a rabbit out of an empty hat. It's like they can see the ears sticking up through the hat before it's time. So a lot of people may know if you've lied to them, Aries. And they may not have admitted it yet. So it's a great month to be honest. It's a great month to admit something if you have lied. And it's also a great month to respond with love if someone does that to you. So if you have like a spouse or you have a friend or someone who's important to you who like opens up to you and says, I lied about this and I'm so sorry, try to not be too mean about that. Like try to thank them for having the strength to come to you in the first place, as you would probably appreciate if you were in their place. Do try to gain perspective and sort of place switch with people around you to understand what it's like, because I feel like a new relationship with honesty does form in February, and that is part of the long-term benefit that accompanies you throughout the 2018 cycle. So without further ado, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and get into your week to week so we can understand more specifically what is coming forward. In week number 1 of February, you have 8 of Pentacles rooted down by the Fool reversed. Sort of not knowing what direction your career takes, you can definitely come up during this time. That strong desire to have that new beginning around March, as Aries always get, is definitely on your mind. So definitely be thinking about your longevity right now, as I feel, as I was mentioning in the intuitive messages, that the long term is on your mind. Like maybe you enjoy your career right now, but you might be curious, like, where does it take me in the future? The first week of February feels like a wonderful time to understand what you actually want to do for not necessarily the rest of your life, but what you feel gives you the most over a long period of time. It does feel like you have an ability to be very entrepreneurial. 8 of Pentacles to me is always sort of the card of the entrepreneur. So it feels like maybe you can take on other things. Perhaps you can start your own business. For those of you who are already in that type of field, I do sense a major expansion coming on there. There is definitely a desire to innovate or a desire to go a new path, to like change the formula or change the format. And it feels like you're not letting yourself. Like I feel like a fear that what you've been doing so far has worked the best, so you want to continue on with that. But I truly think that a bit of innovation will be good. How can you integrate that? You know, how can you continue what's been successful, but also sort of take some new risks? It does feel like new risks need to at least be planned for and like drafted out. It's not necessarily, again, the best time to actually do it unless it's been planned for a long time and you've been working on it for a while. Like, it's not the best time for spontaneity in February. If it has, like, a lot of symptoms or a lot of things which are propping it up, like, small spontaneity is good, but, like, maybe, you know, changing the entire business or the entire foundation of your life is not so good in February because it's an ending month. In the second week, Aries, you have Page of Wands rooted down by Page of Pentacles reversed. So not that exciting of a week or not that overwhelming of a week. It feels like a week where new people or new figures can come in. You are definitely dealing with the fire and earth element within yourself and within other people. So pay attention to these types of people who come in. Fiery Aries, Sag, or Leo people, and earthy Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn people. It feels like the fire element is more healthy to be working with right now because it's upright and not reversed. Do see how people coming into your life, people that you're dealing with, are reflecting you yourself. Because remember that we always pull in aspects of our personality which may need work or may need some acknowledgement. So try to, again, see other people within yourself and connect the dots so that traumatic situations don't come up. Because we're going into that third week, 3 of Swords reversed, rooted down by the Magician reversed, with a little bit of potential relationship trauma, or crisis or relationship devastation. I really don't care for those two cards together, especially being reversed. Three of Swords isn't so bad reversed because I think you can see it coming. You also perhaps may have learned how to guard your heart or to become stronger. But one way or another, I do feel like a lot of Aries could be dealing with like lies or secrets in relationships. Not all of you. It's not all of you, but a good handful of Aries listening are at least reforming concepts about honesty. And that's the beauty of the third week. It's like regardless of what your specific situation is, like Aries starts to learn the value of honesty and the value of trust. I sense like new parameters and new ideas about how to become more trusting or to start trusting more in yourself and others. I also sense strong soulmate connections for those of you who are single or for those of you who aren't in a relationship. New people can come in, and you have to be careful to not, how do I want to say it? Because sometimes Aries gets like puppy crushes very easily. You're a very like love activated sign. You're ruled by Mars, so you can really get that strong forward motion with love. And sometimes you can be sort of blinded by lust. So try to not get blinded by lust in this month. That's sort of another thing coming up with the Fool and the Magician. Again, incredible new beginning energy. So you can start incredible new relationships here. And you can meet really incredible new people, even if it's not love, if it's more just like platonic. But it does feel like these new parameters and new concepts about trust and commitment do need to be formed before you're looking too hard. I also felt really strongly that some Aries are kind of fearful to start over or fearful to have a new relationship. Maybe people coming in are reminding you of people of your past. That feels really strong with the Magician and the Fool being the first two cards of the major arcana of the universal journey being reversed, and with the Moon being upright so much later in the game. It's like old experiences that had a lot more development are more profound within you, and you're kind of scared to let those go or kind of scared to get back there. So where relationships went wrong in the past, like where things were like really wonderful and then kind of plummeted, you're scared that by starting things now, you're just going to find yourself back there, back at that kind of Moon energy of, again, like secrets, lies, and things not being the way that they seem. So try to watch out for that. Try to not deprecate yourself or take away from yourself because you're scared of the past happening. At the same time, be aware of the red flags and be aware if things are just going to end up there. But try to not have to convince yourself either way. It feels like again, this intuition which is shaping within you, Aries, becoming so strong, so proud, so unbreakable, I want to say, is absolutely stunning. And the decisions that you're ultimately making in February are right. Again, central theme of justice. You know what is the right decision. So it feels like if you're not wanting to be with someone or if you're wanting to be single for a bit longer, that is okay. Again, February may not always be the best time to form new relationships unless it feels like you're not having to try that hard. Again, watch out also for having to try too hard. The Magician reversed can sometimes symbolize that we're having to put too much effort, or we're having to, like, again, the Magician is like the creatrix type of archetype. You have all of the means at your disposal, but when it's reversed, it's like you're having to use too much resource to create something. So on that note, watch out for like overspending, or if you're changing your business, watch out for like having to completely ruin your capital investments to make anything happen. And for relationships, watch out for having to like always be the one who's messaging first, or always be the one who's supporting the conversation. It feels like a month where you can kind of kick back, Aries, so anything which takes like way too much effort, you can kind of not have to do, which is like moving into the fourth week, King of Wands reversed, rooted down by the Moon. Something doesn't feel easy, something doesn't feel intuitive. And again, you've learned how to be intuitive with yourself, with your body, with your health, with your reactions, and maybe you're kind of curious why the outer world is not so much reflecting that, and that's because, again, this is one of the most difficult times of the year for everyone, regardless of what your sign is. It's getting right into the beginning of March there and the end of February. We're so close to equinox, but all of the energy which is built up since the previous March 21st, like 2017, is in the process of letting go and leaving, and it's all there. It's all kind of solidified and crystallized. So and a King of Wands reversed feeling like a lack of spontaneity or feeling a lack of purpose, drive, or ambition. Rooted down by the Moon, which deals with secrets. So it feels like lies or secrets of the past are draining your sort of source of purpose energy. So don't let it, Aries. It's almost as simple as that with your sign. It's like the only time that you really let that happen is when you're trying to catalyze stronger motivation within yourself. So let's definitely reassess as Aries where the motivation is coming from. Sometimes when Aries are feeling really brokenhearted or really traumatized in some way, it really is only serving the purpose to, climb your way back up from rock bottom, to really inspire you and motivate you to become stronger, sort of immersing yourself in difficulty. It's the whole idea of like exercising or conditioning, putting pressure on the muscles so that they become stronger. I do sense that type of thing coming in, and it's okay, do what you have to do, but also realize that it can be easier. You can kind of take a deep breath, exhale, and lay back here if you want, and then you can sort of go back into this motivational place towards the end of March, towards your solar return time, and you can do this much easier then. So do realize that, do recognize that, and ultimately I see you getting to the same place one way or another. So like if I were you, I would just take a deep breath here, but I'm not you, and some people again need that sort of immersion to feel strong. So the lesson becomes the same one way or another, I feel, and what's right will happen. Justice as your central theme, you are making good decisions, and you are powerful, Aries. You are strong. Remember that. I've worked with a lot of Aries, and I've been surrounded by many Aries, and I've seen this sort of contagious energy in them that feels weak, or feels like they can't initiate changes or can't catalyze their purpose to be what it is that they want. And I need for the Aries to realize that they are that is them. The catalyzation or catalysion of, my coined word there, catalysion, the catalysion of purpose is Aries energy. So always remember that you are that energy, and you can always do that. The only reason that it may feel that you can't at times is when your body or your ego or your spirit is trying to catalyze something even bigger. So try to see if you can't probe past that and find why you need that in the first place, and why can't you just have the purpose. Find your purpose, allow it to all come in. You guys are beautiful, you're thriving, you're shining. The changes are going to be major. You're one of the healthiest energies coming in. There's just quite a lot to detox from to get there, Anyway, Aries, it's been beautiful to read for you. I've really been energized by it. If you'd like to book a private reading with me and understand more about this in your own personal way, you can click the center of your screen right now. You can also check the playlist on the right to see your sun, moon, and rising sign. Your subscribes, likes, and comments mean the world to me. You can also check the description box below to see my social media, and as well get these readings early and ad-free on my Patreon page. I will be talking to you guys soon. Much love. Bye.